Yep. First topic, which actually might end up being the whole episode based on how long we've been going. Y'all did 20 bold predictions apiece last week. So I
Yes.
decided I had to follow that up with 20 of my own. So we'll go through 20 bold predictions.
Let's
I
go.
I want the point value system and everything. I want to join the contest. I'm inserting myself into it. So let's get into it.
I am doing veto power right now. This is the whole show. Sorry to
All right, cool.
anybody. Sorry to anybody at home. The way we did the special episode last week, it was the whole show. This is officially the whole show. It's Riley Davis takeover hour. 20 bold predictions. Let's get to it.
This is what we
Let's do
wanted
it.
in the first place too. Like this was the original plan for all of us to come with 20.
Oh,
So
let's
like
go.
this is perfect. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so I sort of categorized them like Greg did as well. So these first five, I have five NCAA tournament related bowl predictions. I'll kick it off with some Mountain West talk. And I'm going to say for the second straight year, the Mountain West gets over the hump and gets the team to the Elite Eight. But it's not going to be San Diego State, not New Mexico. It's the Boise State Broncos.
Wow.
They're probably going to be like a 7, 8, 9 seed again, but they have Tyson Degenhart, who is just a matchup nightmare, can play the 4, can play the 5, can stretch it, has some guard skills. And they have pretty solid guards on top of that with Max Rice, Leon Sun. I really like their depth. I mean, I covered them for the Almanac, so I'm slightly biased, but they have legit athleticism on the wing that I think can keep up with a lot of opponents.
Who's their guard? They used to have Shaver last year. He's not there anymore, right?
Yeah, it's a kid from UC San Diego whose name is slipping me, but he had multiple like 30-point games last year.
Okay.
And as a true freshman.
A true freshman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you said Elite Eight. I can't give you a lot of points because you said Elite Eight. I feel like we can only get 5 for that, Greg.
So how do we want to do the point system? Do we want you and I, we got to come to a consensus no matter what? Or do we want to like give our own grade and then average it? What do you think?
No, I think me and you can come to consensus, especially because I'm very, very keen to just folding to you. No homo.
Yeah, you are pretty convincible. Okay. Here's the thing. I would be okay with giving it 5, but then I step back and realize the prediction is Boise State to the Elite Eight. Just like say that out loud for a second. He just picked Boise State to the Elite Eight, and we're going to give him 5?
You're okay. I guess you're right. You think it's 7?
I think it's at least. I mean, Boise State's not going to the Elite Eight. No offense, Boise State fans. If you see
Degenhart and Rice are good, and so is Leon Rice.
Roddy Anderson is the guard from San Diego. Who's look at his highlights. He was a true freshman last year, super bouncy, good streaky shooter, but can get hot. So
Roddy or Robbie?
Roddy. Roddie.
Yeah, I'm in. Okay, that's definitely just a 5. It's not a 7.
Because he's
that just sounds like a dude who could shoot you the second we get for sure. I'm okay with that. Yeah, 5 points. I like that pick. You're coming in hot, Riley. Good work. Are you tallying this, by the way? Because
I am. I'm
yes.
tallying it.
Oh, you are.
Oh, if you want, I'm good for either of us to tally it.
Let's let Riley tally it, Cart.
All right, I'll tally it. All right, second prediction. Second prediction also involves.
Wait, hold on. Cart, are we okay?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I want my credit, man. I want my flowers.
I can give you
count.
flowers.
I can count.
I know you can count. Do you want to count?
No, Riley's got it.
Let's let Cart count. Cart's counting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, second prediction. Second prediction also involves the Elite Eight. And this one's going to be about the Ohio State Buckeyes. I think Chris Holtmann finally has his breakthrough, gets a nice little tournament run, and I like the Buckeyes to go to the Elite Eight at least, maybe even further, but I'm going to stick with the Elite Eight for now.
I like the Buckeyes, Greg.
You're a Buckeye at heart.
I am a Buckeye. We like the Buckeyes.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this can't be above. I think this is the team that goes to the second Elite Eight, though.
If you think about it, that 2 seed team lost to a 15 seed. Like, he's had some good teams that have flamed out to where I think maybe it's worth a little more than like a 3 or 4.
Okay, some food for thought from me on this card. I also want to officially make the rule that you have veto power on the numbers for the rest of the episode. So if we can't agree to something at the end of the day, you get to make the call. Couple things. How close is Chris Holtmann to our whole shtick ongoing of like, who's their coach that we use to diminish a team in March? Because Chris Holtman never does anything in March, ever.
Yeah, he's very close, but we love him.
We do love him, but like you could use the shtick on Chris, right?
You
like,
could. You very well could.
To me, that makes this a very bold prediction, even if you're high on Ohio State, because yeah, he's just never done it. That would be shocking to me.
Okay. How about I'm feeling good on this one. I'm feeling a little bit lenient. I'll give how about 8 points for this one?
I'll
take it. I'll take it.
He's never been there. It'd be the first time.
I also have a theory that Riley's going to just have 19 predictions of teams to the Elite Eight, and then he's going to end up hitting 8 of 19 and feel really good about
it. That's not true. That's my last Elite Eight one specific. This next one might be based in a little wishful thinking, but I have an inclination here. UNC with more turning wins than Duke. Ooh. UNC advances further.
Talk me through that. How does that happen?
I think UNC gets to the second weekend because RJ Davis goes nuclear for 2 games at least. Wouldn't surprise me if they did it as like a 6, 7, 8 seed again. There's something about this Duke team that feels to me like they're going to be really good all season, get like a 2 seed, but then flame out to a really gritty 7 seed in the second round. Like, I think Shire still has to prove it as a coach. Like, don't get me wrong, some of the sets he ran offensively, the way he got his team defending last year was really good. I know I have my biases against Duke, but there's just some of the vibes here where it's like, I can't help that there's like my mind just keeps going to like where UNC was this time last year when everybody was gassing up our second year head coach that played really well down the stretch of last season and brought everybody back. Like, there are some weird parallels here to where I think Duke's not going to flame out altogether and miss the tournament, but it wouldn't surprise me if they don't live up to expectations.
I must say, I was very much impressed, and I know it wasn't against a really good team, but Duke looked really goddamn good last night.
Against Pembroke.
Yeah,
their defense was crazy.
They looked scary good. And I know it was against Pembroke, but I see the vision, especially them playing Proctor, Roach, and then McCain at the 3. Like, that scares me. So I honestly think this is pretty unlikely. I'm kind of buying into Duke after that one little exhibition game, which I feel bad about. But at the same time, like, even Flip was moving extremely well and looked better than he ever did before. So I would give this a 7 because UNC is still good, but I think it's unlikely to happen.
I'm fine with a 7. I would have had it around a 6, I think, which is weird because I'm way more down on North Carolina than you guys are, so I should be grading on a tougher scale. But yeah, I don't know. The tournament's fluky to me. If you would have said better regular season, I would have given you like 10 points for this. But yeah, tournament, anything could happen.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one, we're going to move to one of Cart's favorite bits of who's their coach. Marquette is an 8 seed or lower. They're a bubble team this year. There's always a top 5 team that disappoints. They'll still get in the dance. They'll still be solid. Omax is a huge loss, and I don't think like they're banking on Joplin taking a leap. They're banking on Cam Jones taking a leap. Like, they weren't great defensively last year, and Omax was so important to them. Is it possible we see a little Tyler Kolek regression? Like, that's where I'm standing at with this. I think Marquette's going to disappoint a little bit.
Greg, you want to start with this one?
Are we quantifying? What was the quantification of how bad they are? Is there one, or is it just they're disappointed?
Yeah. Oh, 8 seed or lower in the tournament.
8 seed or lower. So, I think the Big East.
Sorry, go ahead, Greg. No, I want to say 10.
Yeah, that's 9 or 10. I think it's 9 or 10. I think Marquette's really, really good, and I think outside of the top 3 in the Big East, there's a drop-off. Even though I think the Big East is great because I think those 3 teams are great, but I think they're all going to rack up a lot of wins against those teams. So, yeah, I'm perfectly okay with that. That deserves a lot of points. I'll be shocked. I'll be more surprised if that happens than anything else you've said so far.
Yeah, 10. I think they could have a regression like you said, Riley, but the regression will be to like a 7 seed, not an 8 seed or higher. Like, yeah. So yeah. I'll give you 10 for that. That's a bold one.
Mm-hmm. And last one for the tournament predictions. Pac-12 gets 5 teams into the NCAA tournament. This one I barely believe. It's very contingent on Jalen Tyson getting a waiver because Cal is my like surprise team.
Wait, you're counting Cal as the 15 that makes the tournament?
Yeah, I want to
10. 10.
Well, wait, let's talk
10.
through who the other outcomes are, because he gave himself the out. He didn't just pick Cal to make the tournament.
Right. I said 5 teams.
He gave himself the out of the 5 teams. So like
Arizona.
They had 4 last year. Arizona State was 1.
They were in the playing though, weren't they?
What'd you say?
They were playing though, right?
Yeah, but that's
we'll count it. If it's field of 68, it counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think this is that crazy at all, because UCLA, Arizona, USC, Colorado should all be locks. And then I think Oregon and Arizona State both have chances.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Utah has a chance.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing to go fully bowl with all the way with Cal, but I don't know. There's something about the Golden Bears I want to buy into.
Yeah, I think this is weak. I would give this like a 2. I don't think this deserves much.
Yeah, I'll go 2 on that. I agree with that.
All right, I'll take it.
And I love you, Riley Davis. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's just going to happen.
Hey, I swung for the fences with a couple of those. So I'll take a lower.
Yeah, credit to you by throwing Cal in there to get me off my pivot. When I just completely overlooked that the 15 could be like Oregon or something. Good on you, but 2.
Big Mark Madsen guy, Riley?
I am a big Mark Madsen guy.
Is this because you like loved him when he was a Laker or something, or just you like him?
I mean, who am I? I'm not going to fool anybody. I didn't watch a second of Utah Valley when he was there, but I just know that he elevated them and they had some good offenses. So
I was going to say, I feel like there's a non-zero chance you were like a huge Mark Madsen Lakers fan and had a Mark Madsen Lakers jersey.
Yeah, like you were Mark Madsen for like 3 straight years from the year 7 to 10 for Halloween.
Yeah, I can see that.
No comment.
Moving on.
All right, next category we have losers. So this is going to be teams that bad stuff is going to happen to, if that wasn't clear. So first one, this one really stings my heart to predict this. Kansas State misses the dance. Year 2 of Jerome Tang takes a turn for the worse. It's already been Naquan Tomlin's gone. Arthur Kaluma doesn't live up to the hype, and it's Tyler Perry and kind of a bunch of system guys that are not the system.
It's a good prediction, even though I don't want it to be true. Like, it's just a good-hearted prediction.
Yeah. I think I would give this a 6 because there's such a chance that Kaluma ends up being just what he is, like one of the best or one of the better bad players, I guess is the word that Greg uses every so often with them. Naquan Tomlin is a huge loss. I feel like people are just kind of brushing that over, and like his backup is like Will McNair, who really wasn't doing anything at Mississippi State, had some good years at New Mexico State, I believe it was before that. So this is kind of likely. I think I would go 5 points on this one.
I endorse exactly what Carter just said because he knows who Naquan Tomlin's backup is. That was honestly wild that you just had that name prepared and ready to go.
Thank you.
Will McNair? Was that what it was?
Yeah, Will McNair.
Never heard of that man. That was incredible. But yeah, ball knower. Carter Elliott, ball knower. Let's not forget that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll give you 5 for that, Riley.
I think 5, or I was going to say 6, but I'll take a 5. I think
you'll take 5 and like it.
I love it. The approach here is, well, I was going to say 6. And you and I, honestly, we're ready to look at each other and be like, yeah, 6 is good. 6 is fair. Like,
all right, staying on the topic of missing tournaments, Virginia misses the NCAA tournament.
2.
That's because not at least a 3 or a 4. No faith in Tony Bennett.
We're not a Tony Bennett podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. This roster is kind of stinky. It's a lot of role players.
I'll give you a 3 because I like you, and that's being courteous.
What's your?
Right, I'll take the courtesy 3.
Being an ACC guy, Riley, how bold do you actually think that is? Because the exercise is like to stretch a little bit and come up with some weird stuff. But some people think Virginia is going to be really, really good. Do you see that?
I mean, personally, I would have given it a 3 or 4. It's not my boldest. Just because I think this roster, I can't remember if I've said this on here before. Like, the best Virginia teams have killers in the backcourt, whether it's Malcolm Brogdon, whether it's Kyle Guy, whether it's Ty Jerome, even London Parantis could do some stuff that like no one on this roster is going to do. They have long-term pieces like Isaac McNeely can get there in time. Andrew Rohde maybe gets there, but like they're still young and they're not really shot creators, at least not yet in Rohde's case. I think he has that potential, showed it at St. Thomas, but again, that's St. Thomas. So yeah, I'm not crazy about this. I think they're like a NIT team who will, be first 4 out or something.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think this can happen. I really do. I think this is closer to like a 50-50 to me than anything else. So however you want to grade that is fine with me, Cart.
Like, so you think it should be a 5?
I don't know. I don't know if this scale is like perfectly applicable to percentage out of 100.
Let's give it a 4. Let me get my point back that I didn't get for the K-State one.
No, you're getting a 2.
Yeah, I don't like being negotiated to like that.
Yeah, you're getting a 2. And if I get some more like negotiation lip out of you, I'll give you 0 for the rest of these, mister. All right.
All right, we'll stick with the 2. Okay, next one.
Can I get an Oberon check real quick from Cart?
It's done.
Okay, good. I was just going to hold you accountable because you always do that with my coffees. So if you hadn't smacked it already, I was going to, try to just pull a little fast one on you, but credit to you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. This next one, maybe my second favorite of them all. Because this comes straight from hatred. And because I think there's a very good chance it happens, but it's still kind of bold. Duke has a players only meeting sometime in January, and there is some sort of credible reporter or very strong, like Trilly Donovan or one of those anonymous type account rumors that it's a rookies versus the vets situation.
Ooh, I love this.
Where you have like so Jeremy Roach is getting pissed off that Jared McCain and Caleb Foster getting his minutes. And Kyle Filipowski sides with the vets. TJ Power might side with Kyle Filipowski, which could look very problematic.
Filipowski sides with the vets in this scenario?
Yes. I'm going Filipowski and the vets against the freshmen.
Are there any other like of the middle ground guys? Is every sophomore and up
like what side does Mark Mitchell take?
I think if you're not a freshman, you're a vet. Like, I think it's going to be this big freshman class starts having a little bit of beef with that, with like Jeremy Roach and Filipowski and Mitchell are both like, nah, we're battle tested with Roach. That's our guy. Like, we love y'all young dudes, but we gotta have the captain's back.
And Jaden Schutt's like standing in the corner, like, yeah, I need my minutes too.
Okay, I do like Jaden Schutt siding with the. Wait, in that situation, is Jaden Schutt sided with the freshman that saying he needs more minutes?
No, because isn't this scenario that the freshmen are getting the minutes, or are the freshmen upset they're not getting the minutes?
The freshmen, I think it's the veterans. Oh man, I didn't think this far in advance.
I think the freshmen are the ones getting the minutes, and the vets are the pissy ones here.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, in that case, it's a 10 out of 10 prediction for me, both in caliber, in entertainment value, and also I guess I wouldn't say it's like completely impossible, but I think it deserves 10 points for how audacious it is.
Yeah, I think I'd go 10 on that as well, just because of how I think the Duke team is made up and operated. They don't strike me as the type to get out of line. That's against brotherhood.
How does Shire handle that if that happens, by the way? Like, is he prepared to handle a locker room like that?
I mean, I'll give him.
He has a break glass emergency button, and it summons Coach K to the facility immediately, and he handles it.
Coach K's already there. His office is still in the practice facility.
There you
like
go.
a floorboard just like slowly panels out and
yes,
rises right up instantly. Like, hello, John. God, that was great, Riley. I hope we get more like that. Keep going.
Yeah, next one. This is actually my favorite. St. John's has a scholarship player quit midseason.
I feel like that's pretty likely
because they got so many freaking dudes who NIL is going to cause some issues. Patino's lost his fastball. I hate this fan base right now because they're talking so much for a team that like hasn't been to the tournament outside of the first 4 in decades because they stole Simeon Wilcher from us, like a top 50 recruit. Congrats.
If I'm not mistaken too, like in his years at Ionia, like he was having players Iona, sorry. He was having players leave. Like that happened. Like guys were unhappy. So I could see it with a lot more mouths to feed. You know, Soriano's getting all the touches. Dingle maybe like getting his touches. They were promised this. When you add a lot of transfers, that means there's a lot of promises. I think this is pretty likely. I'd give it a 4, to be honest with you, Riley, because I think it's kind of likely.
Wow. Who's the player? If you guys both think this is likely and has a real chance, call the shot. Who's the player?
Wiltshire.
I think it's Ledlam.
Good call. He already flipped his commitment. Yep, like that.
I think Ledlam's like, man, I was promised more than this. I left my Ivy League education for this, like to go to a commuter school in New York City. Like, I'm out.
Okay, that was harsh by me, Riley. You get a 6 for that. You get a 6.
Can I make a proposal? If Riley wants to be as specific to say Ledlam leaves the team, we give him a 10, if not more than 10. If he wants to leave it at a St. John's scholarship player, he gets 6.
Riley, I'd be willing to give you 15 points for Ledlam.
All right, let's roll with Ledlam. Let's go with Ledlam for 15.
Wow, we got a 15-pointer.
And now we also got Riley's game theory strategy if he were ever on Jeopardy and got the daily double. That was pretty nice. Riley, what you got?
All right, next category we're going to move to is winners, teams that good stuff is going to happen to. We're going to start in the SEC. I hinted at this earlier. I'm picking Auburn to win this league. It feels like they have this great front court that no one's really talking about between Jalen Williams and Janai Broome. They got a coach that's been there before and done it. Aiden Holloway is right in that range of freshmen that Bruce Pearl always thrives with, like the Isaac Okoro, Sharif Cooper types. And I haven't looked at their schedule, so bad research by me, but the SEC feels so like jumbled at the top. Any number of teams can win it. And I like Auburn's chances to sort of surprise some people and win it.
I like Auburn.
I do like Auburn too, but I feel like that's a pretty bold prediction to say they're going to win the conference. Like that means they're beating out Arkansas, they're beating out Tennessee, they're beating out, Bama is in there too, Kentucky. I think I would give that a 8, and that feels a little bit harsh because I feel like it deserves a 9, but because I believe in Auburn, I think I'm giving it an 8.
I'm good with 8. I would have said 8 or 9 probably for the reasons you just said, but I alluded to this earlier. I don't think there is an elite tier in the SEC. I just don't. We did our power rankings and had Tennessee 5th, and I think that was giving Tennessee a lot of credit after the Michigan State exhibition. They're a good team, but there's a lot of good teams. They're like, I think all those teams we just named are very good teams. And if Aiden Holloway is who we think he is, then I might take Auburn. Like, I think the betting value would be on Auburn before the season. So I like the prediction. I think it's more likely than people would think. I'm good with 8 points.
Cool. Next one, we'll move to the Big 12. Again, hinted at this earlier. Give me Houston winning the Big 12, and I'll add another stipulation to it and say Jamal Shead, Big 12 Player of the Year. I know he disappointed a little bit last year. Kelvin Sampson said as much in the Almanac that he's on the same page. Shed's on the same page that he didn't quite make the jump people expected. I like him as a post-hype sleeper. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Going to have competition for points with like LJ Cryer, who's a bucket. But yeah, I think Shed, better defender, will sort of be the straw that stirs the drink for a really good Houston team.
Right. You're not saying that. He actually said like they're on the same page. They both said that.
Yeah, I think it was essentially like that, where Sampson said something in the Almanac about how Shed, he might not have said disappointing, but it was essentially like Shed didn't quite take the leap that we wanted him to. And it seems like Shed is like admitted that as well, was sort of the implication.
Shed admitted that. Okay. Because you said player winning the conference, and I don't believe that Houston is going to win the Big 12. I actually don't see a world where I think Houston's going to actually have a fall off this year with the joining of the Big 12. So if you want Houston to win the Big 12, I'll give you 10. If you want both as a stipulation, I'll give you 15. But Houston has to win, and Jamal Shead has to win Big 12 Player of the Year.
I'm good with that.
You can choose.
I guess I'll go conservative with this one and go 10. And
okay.
Take the points.
Right.
Or take
right,
the
I'm bumping it
points.
down. I'm bumping it down to 9 because you took the soft route out. I'm kidding. You're getting the 10. I'm kidding.
All right. This one is going to be in my most like who cares bag, but I care. ECU, the ECU Pirates, finished second in the American behind it. I'm assuming that FAU wins it, but I think this is bold because I'm saying they finish above Memphis, and I low-key really like what they're doing in Greenville. I think Mike Schwartz has a good roster that he's assembling.
Can you give us like a 3-sentence summary on what they're doing in Greenville?
They have a big man named Ezra Assar who put up some numbers last year, true sophomore. They got a Kansas transfer, Bobby Pettiford, who was like a North Carolina legend in high school.
Like Bobby Pettiford.
I'm in.
They got some.
You had me at Bobby Pettiford. I'm in. Come on, 5-star kid from Kansas. He's out now. He's at East Carolina. Yes, they're purple. They're Pirates. Bobby Pettiford's there. I'm in.
What's that mean as far as score? Yeah, what's that mean as far as score if you're in on ECU being second?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I still think
ECU's literally never been good at basketball.
Yeah, I still think it's bold. Memphis is good. Is RJ Felton still on this team?
Mm-hmm.
Is RJ Felton related to Raymond Felton?
I just assume all the Feltons are related.
That's where I'm at too. I love this team. I don't know where that leaves us as far as math. We're not a math show. You're in charge of the math today, Cart. You've been doing a phenomenal job, by the way. Let me just say. This might be your hardest test yet because I'm in. I love East Carolina right now.
I still think this deserves a 10 because they've never been good at basketball. So I'm with you on it. Didn't Tristan Newton play at ECU? Is that where he came from?
Mm-hmm. He started out there.
Greg, how do you know who RJ Felton is?
I'm on the Ken Pom page for East Carolina.
Oh, okay. I thought you just pulled that out of nowhere. I was about to be
thoroughly. No, I don't have the ball nollie that you do when it comes to like backup sixth men on teams.
Okay. I will give you 10 for that one, Riley. That's just to give you a little recap. You've gone 10, 15, 8, 10, and 10. So you're giving yourself a shot if these hit. Just let it be known. This could be a dog walking of us if these do come through, because we didn't have this many 10s and stuff.
All right. This next one also hits close to home. Someone who I wanted in Chapel Hill. It involves Johnny Furphy. And I'm saying Johnny Furphy replaces KJ Adams next to Hunter in the starting lineup by mid-February. We've seen how that spacing doesn't work. We have our concerns. Johnny Furphy gets a theory.
I have a theory here. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I'm trying to balance how to say this because I don't want Kansas fans mad at me. But I don't think Kansas fans watch our stuff. I don't think Johnny Furphy is as good as people have made him out to be this offseason. I think there's a lot of volatility with guys like Johnny Furphy who come over to college randomly at the last minute, that it was like never really a plan for them to do. And then all of a sudden they're here. I liked all the tape I've seen. The tape makes sense. He's clearly a good player, but I don't think he's ever going to be close to a top 5 talent on this Kansas team. And even if it's clunky, I can't see Bill Self doing that.
Okay. Riley, I'm going to give you a 9 for this. And here's the reason why. I actually think that Johnny Furphy is a top 5 talented player on this team, but if I could go back to our bold prediction episodes, my bold prediction would be that Johnny Furphy doesn't play for Kansas the whole season. I think he calls it quits. Like, I think that Kansas maybe falls off a little bit. He's not getting the minutes he thinks he deserves. He's been having chronic shin splints, which I guess have been happening like his whole career. And like, they don't know when he's going to be okay to even hit the floor. And I think maybe he just says, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm just going to head back home and just play overseas and then maybe enter the draft or something like that. So I think it's very unlikely that Furphy, and please, Kansas fans, this is just me making a wild guess. I have nothing as a backing. This is just in my gut feeling, which is a lot of the times it can be wrong. I'll admit that. But I'll give you a 10 on this one because a 9. I'll give you a 9 because I think it's likely that Furphy doesn't even finish with Kansas. So if you're saying he's getting more minutes by the midpoint of the season, then I'll give you a 9 on that one.
I just want to say I loved your prediction that Hunter is just not with the team at some point. I think that's going to happen I feel very confident someone with this Kansas team is going to like just be off the grid and is going to get reported they're not with the team for a mysterious, undisclosed reason. I love that prediction. And
I mean, that already cashed, to be fair.
When did it happen?
Arterio Morris.
Redacted. True.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Good Lord, Greg. All right.
All right,
That's the next
we'll
one.
clean it up with something more wholesome, sort of. This is like largely a winner. A little bit. I don't mean this as a shot. It might sound like it a little bit, but I think Caleb Love shoots 40+% from the field for the first time in his career at Arizona, but also has a lower assist numbers than he did at UNC last year. So he averaged 2.8 assists at Carolina last year. I think he's going to still be below that, but his efficiency is going to go up, and he'll shoot plus 40% from the field.
I think that's a 10, right? I mean, that's predicting that Caleb Love is more efficient ever is worth 10 points to me.
Yeah, but like, give me a refresher here, G, because I feel like have you watched the Arizona exhibition, at least the Mac Mills ball?
They were incredible.
Has Caleb been on the ball a lot, or has he been off the ball?
He's been on the ball in like a featured role. Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like if he's off the ball, I feel like his percentages might go up a little bit, but maybe the assists don't go up.
So the thing is, I think he had 7 assists in their exhibition game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he killed.
You want to know how many assists he had in UNC's exhibition last year, Greg?
How many? Was that a 9?
Yes. He's always passed the ball really well against like mid and low majors. He looks so like such a dynamic passer against bad competition. So that's my thing is like, I don't know if his passing and decision making has really improved that much, but because Tommy Lloyd's great offensive mind, really good coach, and he's going to get easier looks than he got at UNC, I think his percentages go up.
And all he has to do is average more than 2.8 assists?
Less than 2.8 assists.
Oh, less.
Yeah, I said less assists than at UNC, but his percentage is better.
Oh, I'll give that a 10. I think he averages more than 2.8 assists.
Can I throw a takeout that I think Riley's just going to quickly like get very upset about? Umar Balo is a better player than Armando Bacot.
That's not true.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
You
want to talk about a system player. Umar's good, but
I think this Arizona team is going to fit way better around like having Caleb do everything.
Well, you could say that, but Armando Bacot is 365 days out of 365 days a better basketball player than Umar Balo.
In the box score, for sure.
There's been
just at basketball
in the box score.
No, come on. There's a lie that's been propagated that Armando's not a winning player. I know Macon, who's very active in the Discord, very active on Twitter, who is a Duke fan, likes to say that. People forget that Armando gave Duke 23 in Coach K's last game in Cameron and then grabbed 20 boards against them in the Final Four on one leg. Like, Armando is not a losing player. When he is on, like when he was like, his conditioning was great that year. His motor is really good, grabs literally every loose rebound. I know he doesn't like have a post bag, but neither does Ballo. And I think Armando has I think he's got a little more of a handle than Ballo too, if we're going to talk about big men bags and stuff.
Yeah.
You had to qualify for that with when he's on, his motor's good. That tells you what you need to know about Armando Bacot.
Well, I think Armando lost like 20 pounds this offseason. I think he would tell you because he hurt his ankle last year, got a little out of shape in the offseason and never fully got healthy.
Okay. And we'll see. I don't know. Hunter lost like 25 pounds too. He looks too small to score. He's not knocking guys off in the post anymore. I don't know if that's a good thing for a dude who's just SpongeBob muscles, right? Like we want Armando Bacot skinnier.
He looks the same size he did during the tournament run. When he was mobile.
Fellas, I'm putting because I have veto power, I'm putting the gavel down here. This was not about Armando Bacot and Umar Ballo, okay? This is about Caleb Love, and I'm giving it 10 because I think he averages more than 2.8 assists.
All right, let's move on. Another winner kind of ties into the tournament. Cincinnati, I barely believe this. Cincinnati is the surprise Big 12 team and makes the tournament. They need Aziz Bandaogo to get the waiver, but yeah.
See, I like a lot of players on this team.
Yeah, I do like a lot of players on this team, and I like Wes Miller.
You got Simas Lukosius.
I do love Wes Miller.
Do you have a reason why you love Wes Miller so much? You've always loved him.
Well, I loved him at Greensboro. Like I loved him there, and it kind of carried over the Cincinnati team. And like Landers Nolly, I like Landers Nolly.
I don't know if y'all realize like how lame of a school UNC Greensboro is and how uninvested that student body is in basketball. And the fact that he like got them to multiple NCAA tournaments is special.
I can buy that. I mean, I like the names on this team. I just like the more I'm hearing about like their exhibitions and the preseason stuff, it's like not
That's
exactly
what's
good basketball team.
that's what scared me with him losing to SMU in an
Yeah.
exhibition.
Yeah, I feel like I have to give this a 9.
I think that's fair. I think this might be like let me do a terrible Big Ten comparison, but shout out Guy. I think this might be like the Nebraska of a different conference. Like bunch of fun dudes, bunch of box score scoring fun types, but you add it all up, they like go to overtime with the number 1 team in the country once, and it's a fun little moment, and then everybody forgets about it.
I mean, remember when they beat Illinois in the non-conference in Wes's first year, and it was like, oh, Cincinnati top 25 team, and then no one heard from them again.
Yeah. Cincy is a sneaky great all-name team this year, by the way. Day Thomas, Jizzle James, like they just got some dudes. I like it.
Yeah. I'll go 9.
9 is good.
All right. Last one. This is everybody's a winner but me. This is God continuing to give his toughest battles to his what's the phrase? Y'all know
this is God giving his strongest battles to his toughest soldiers.
Yeah, there we go. Like I said, Duke flames out second round, but in the days following after the game, Jared McCain releases a TikTok of sorts saying, "I'm back." And Jared McCain is back for his sophomore season.
Okay, I love this take, first of all, and I want to dissect it thoroughly, but I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't distracted during it by the concept of Riley openly being a man of faith, a preacher type, a man who really goes to lengths to spread the word of the Lord. And he didn't know what the slogan was.
Well, because it's not in the Bible. It's like a cliche.
It's not only not in the Bible, Riley. It also speaks to the fact that you are not necessarily one of his toughest soldiers, because you have not been given the hardest battles, because you are Riley Bluffs Davis, my friend, and you will preach on the behalf of the Lord. But I can't believe you did not know that phrase. Okay, I honestly I didn't even hear the thing. I was so fixated on that. Can you say it again?
I said Jared McCain announces he's coming back for his sophomore season, and it probably happens pretty soon after Duke loses in the tournament.
I need a time frame.
Oh man,
I love Cartman.
I need one
before July, sometime in June. It happens at June, in the very latest in June.
I think this is going to happen. I think it's going to happen.
You think he's coming back for his sophomore year?
He doesn't exactly like. No disrespect to McCain, who I think is like one of the most fun freshmen in the sport this year, but like he doesn't have the profile of a dude who's going to have the numbers or anything to be like top 10 pick guaranteed, right? Like a great year for Jared McCain to me does not look like, oh, he's 7th overall in the draft. It looks like he starts for Duke, has some numbers, gets picked like 24th in the first round. And we just saw Shire bring dudes who would have been picked there back. I don't know what's in the water in Cameron, but like, that wouldn't be surprising to me really at all. I kind of feel like that's the motion that's been set from Flip and Proctor now.
So you think this is a 10?
No, I think it's less. I think it's less because I think it's going to happen. I think.
Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, I think it's like a 4.
Ooh, 4 is harsh. 4 is harsh. So? You said it. Wait, Riley, you said it has to be on TikTok, right?
I was just spitball. We could say it has to be on TikTok.
All right, this is a very serious exercise, and small details like that matter, my friend.
All right, it's just
points.
It's just going to be
TikTok. Don't hold him to TikTok. That's hard.
Jared McCain announces he's coming back for his sophomore season by June. June 1st. By June
4
1st.
4 is harsh. I'm pulling my veto power. I think he's leaving. I'm going 6.
I have a way more fun prediction than that. I know this isn't my prediction show.
This is not. You're starting to try to make it yours.
Tyrese Proctor announces he comes back for his junior year.
I feel like that's a 10.
Yeah, no chance. That'd be a 10 if it's out there.
There's a massive chance that Proctor isn't as good as everybody thinks.
Yeah. I feel like he has his mind. It seems like both him and Filipowski have their mindset on like we're 2 and done. Like this is national championship or bust. And if it doesn't work out,
they're good. If they are good or bad, they're going. They will get drafted. It's just they want to play good and win championships so they can do that and get drafted high. But they're going no matter what.
I think there's a world Proctor's not a first round pick at the end of this year.
That'd be bold. Unfortunately, we're not playing your exercise. Riley, on to your next one.
All right, these last three, I have 17, 18, 19, 20 as a wild card, are awards. And one of them, there's even a subcategory of these awards called I'm pandering to Greg and Carter.
That's insane.
17, Dalton Connect makes an All-American team.
Just makes an All-American team. I think there's too many dudes on Tennessee for any of those guys to be on an All-American team. I don't think anyone will have good enough stats. I think that'd be an 8 for me.
I thought you didn't love Tennessee's dudes, though.
That's what you talking about, me or Riley?
You, I guess.
That's why I gave it an 8. That's why I gave it an 8. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I'm backwards on it. Then I'm confused. I thought you don't think Tennessee's very good. You think their starting backcourt sucks. So if that was the case, it would be easy for Dalton Connect to be really good if he's good.
I don't think it matters, though. As long as Vescovi and Ziegler, Don, the Burnt Orange, or the Vols, they're going to be the backcourt that plays on that team. And that's going to take away from Connect.
Okay. I'm good with that.
All right. So what's the number?
8.
8.
And don't get snippy. I don't like you. Do you roll your eyes right there? Are you not happy with that 8?
I'm more than content with the 8.
Okay.
All right. Bold prediction number 18. This is the pander to Greg and Cart for this award, but I believe it. I really do. And maybe I don't believe this one. Cohen Carr and George Washington III finished top 3 in Big Ten Freshman of the Year voting.
10.
I mean, it's such a pander. It's such a pander. I have to respect how much of a pander it is. Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
That's 10.
I was going off the assumption in this one that our guy DHS is the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. I can't go against DHS. I've been high on him like since watching him at Peach Dam. But yeah, I love Cohen Carr. I'm so in on Cohen Carr. Dude who's that explosive. I don't care if he can't shoot. You find minutes for him. You find a role for him. And George Washington III, I haven't even watched him, but I just love these rumors about him popping off in this Marquette scrimmage and that his name is George.
This Marquette scrimmage is so detrimental to Michigan. I thought it'd be great for him. It's detrimental.
Why?
I don't know. There's just it's just detrimental to me. Now we got George Washington, top 3 freshman in the Big Ten, takes flying about.
Like the season hasn't even started yet, and we've already lost the no expectations.
We were literally on Feed the Post with Joe Jackson the other day, and we had to have a conversation about how people are sleeping on George Washington III.
I think they are, man. I think he could be good.
And Exhibit A.
What? We can't talk like he couldn't be a dude at all?
This doesn't happen if Tyler Kolek straps his Rhode Island nuts up and doesn't let it happen.
Hey, don't talk about Rhode Island that way. Riley vacations there in June.
Sorry.
All right. Prediction number 19. Dylan Dessou.
What is this, man? What is this show we're doing? What are we doing today?
Dylan Dessou makes an all Big 12 team, either first or second team.
0.
Like you don't 10. You think it happens?
0. Like
you
he's
don't think...
disqualified for this pick. I don't like.
No, hell no. We respect Dylan Dessou on this podcast. Stop that.
He knew by pick 18 that this would just be the Carter Elliott show. Like that's what the last 2 picks tell me. He's literally
okay, but
feeding you what you want to feed.
But I also love Dylan Dessou. I've gone on record on the show before. Yeah, it's not just Carter who loves Dylan Dessou. I'm a Dylan Dessou guy.
I'm giving you a 4 because I think he does.
Let's go.
Can you guys name me 3 things you each individually love about Dylan Dessou?
Like, you want me to go first, or you want him?
What
to
do you
first?
love about Dylan Dessou?
His first and last name start with the same letter. He rebounds extremely well. He's got like a very nice elbow game too, and he got healthier every single game he played at Texas until he got hurt, which sucks a little bit. But when he's healthy and when he's playing, I think he is a big that gives people matchup problems.
We're on the same page because the first thing I was going to say was his mid-post game. The second thing I was going to say is his name is Dylan Dessou.
There you go, Greg.
He averaged 4.4 rebounds last year.
Hold on. Let's look at the advanced numbers. Go beyond the box score, Greg.
Oh, I mean, it's because he played a bunch of games where he only played 9 minutes a game. But, like, that's because he's Dylan Dessou that he played 9 minutes a game. Like, what are we doing, man? Like,
he was 13th in offensive rebounding rate and defensive rebounding rate in the Big 12. Top 15 rebounder in the conference.
If Dessou's top whatever in the Big 12, first team, that was the pick, right?
First team or second team.
Oh, okay. If he's a top 10 player in the Big 12, how many players from Texas are on those teams? Are you telling me Dessou's the best player on Texas? Or are you telling me like Tyrese Hunter and Max Asmus and Dylan Mitchell and Caden Shedrick all made these teams too?
I'd go one of the guards in Dessou. I'm going Dessou over Mitchell.
I like that. Dessou's good, man.
I just think he's their
Dessou's one of
Dessou
Dessou is a really big reason why I like Texas as much as I do.
Okay. I gotta watch some Dessou film, man. To me, he's just like their fifth guy, clearly.
All right, this is last pick. I wanted to do a Gonzaga. This doesn't even fit a category. I just think Gonzaga is going to be good again, and people are sleeping on them. And I don't know if my prediction needs to be they win Maui or they win the WCC by like 3 games. But I'm trusting Mark Few and that they're not going to fall off that the way some people think. So
Riley,
let's go.
Riley, what do you want me to do with that, man? You just gave me 3 predictions in one. What am I supposed to do with that, my brother?
All right, fine. Gonzaga wins Maui. Let's start with that.
1. That's soft. 1.
1?
That's a 1. That's a 1.
Aren't they like the 6th best team at Maui?
That's a 1.
Maui's loaded, man.
If a Gonzaga team was going to be against the world and Few against everybody, Maui is a tournament they would win to announce themselves, and then they go to the WCC and win it by like a game or 2. But they're gonna win Maui, I think.
How can you check the ABV on those Oberon eclipses for me real quick, whatever that is? Like they're like we're just shrugging off Gonzaga's gonna win Maui. Maui has Kansas, Marquette, Purdue, and Tennessee, and UCLA and Syracuse in it. And we're just shrugging it off that Gonzaga's winning that tournament?
Sorry. Okay, I'll give you can you give a number, Greg?
I mean, is the prediction officially just Maui? That's all it is?
Yeah, Gonzaga wins Maui.
That is a little softer than the first one, but like it's still like a 7 or an 8. Like they're the 6th best team.
I'll do 7.
Okay.
I'll take it.
All right. I will add these up for you, Riley. I will say this, just visually looking at it, you had a lot of you had like a lot of 8 and aboves. I don't think me and Greg had that many.
That's good. That speaks well. Those are some bold predictions.
Yes, you did it right.
I really think I believe these two.
That's
which
good.
Maybe I qualified the ones that I like sort of believe, but I believe probably 95% of them.